What's up, party people? How you doing on this Friday? How we feeling, apes, retail investors, players, traders, haters, everybody, right? Welcome back. It's your boy D, and today we're gonna talk about whatever I want to talk about, right? So we're gonna talk about AMC, we're gonna talk about GME a little bit, right? And we're gonna talk about like the expectations for this coming week and what I'm kind of looking at, right? I'm gonna give you my thoughts and my opinions. That's all this is, right? Don't take it as financial advice. Don't take it as I'm not a financial advisor, right? None of that, right? I don't have a certified, license or anything. So take it for entertainment and educational purposes only. Yeah, guys. So right today, let's go over some things. All right. So the first thing is that I noticed with AMC today was extremely low volume. All right, low volume, in my opinion, is bullish because it actually tightens things up for the shorts, right? The more days to cover, right, the more days theoretically it takes for them to close out short positions. All right, so the lower volume, in my opinion, is better because we tend to come to a point where it just tightens things up, and then you see a big explosion of volume. All right, so that's the first thing I noticed today. So just keep in mind that AMC has had volume up to like 1.2 billion before, right? 500 million, 200 million, 80 million, right? The average for a while was like 70, 80 million, and we haven't seen that volume come in yet. All right, so I'm expecting it to come in soon. So that's one of the things. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about here real quick is gonna be the hit pieces. All right, so the hit pieces started. We seen this article that came out that says, oh, to watch out, AMC might have negative earnings. And, they're putting that negative energy out there, which we just want to get the hell out of here, right? Because the apes they know what's going on and they've done their DD and they're holding, right? And we're expecting, some actual good news, some positive news from the AMC earnings. We might even turn a positive earnings per share, all right? We'll have to wait and see. That's what we're waiting for. The earnings is next Thursday, August 4th, all right? And that's the second thing. So the next thing, well, let's just touch a little bit more on that. I got some numbers on that, right? So they're expected to post a loss of 26 cents per share, all right, with a revenue of 1.12 billion, and that is estimated to be up 151% compared to a year ago. All right, so how is that bad for AMC, right? I don't see how, because we might even turn a positive earnings. So it's expected negative 26 cent per share, but we might even come in positive. We'll have to wait and see, because I mean there's just been a lot of good movies. People have been going to the movies, all right, and not that this is a fundamental play, but it can definitely bring in some buying pressure, right? And yeah, last night I went on a big rant last night, right? I was kind of pissed off of that information that came out about Gary Gensler, but we do have to be careful with him. We can't we can't go too crazy, because he does have the power to mess with this play, right? If he wanted to, and he could, do some things that I don't even want to talk about. I don't even want to put that out there, right? Because we're waiting for the MOAS, we're waiting for the squeeze, and the apes are holding, and we're here, right? We're not going anywhere. Okay, next thing is the pounce. So the pounce, it might not be exactly on August 4th, all right, guys? Remember that Aron said that he would not release the pounce before second order earnings, but that doesn't mean that he's going to talk about it in the earnings call. It doesn't mean that, right? He didn't say that. He just said 1, 2, 3, 4 in that tweet, right? And so pay attention to that. And yeah, guys, I mean, that's what we're kind of expecting. The price is holding right now around 1450, which is good in my opinion. That's the line where it broke last time when it went out of control, right? In last May and June. And so we're holding that as a support right now, which is good to see. Now you can tell the market makers were trying to hold this down, right? You saw a huge pop at the end, almost at the end of the market with GameStop and AMC, and they were able to push it down, but they didn't want it to cross 15 because of the options chain. All right, again, the market makers are the ones that can sway the price, and guess what the max pain was? It was 1450, right? So that's what I got for you guys on that. Let's go ahead and jump into the charts real quick. I'm going to show you something on the chart. Oh, wrong one. Let's go here. So the chart over here for AMC. What we're waiting on right now, and it's very possible, right? It's the technical breakout, right? So this is going to be the time frame and the zone, the price, right? Where you could have a technical breakout. The first one would be right here, right? This big resistance, because it's the macro one that we've been fighting. But this is what earnings could bring, right? So say we post positive earnings, you get the buying pressure from big institutions and other money, right? Big whales. and they're going to push it up here. And then this is where, in my opinion, the 30 to 35 is where we would have to struggle a little bit, right? It might bounce around, but this is what we need to crack, guys. This time frame, right? Because of earnings, September 1st, of with like what AMC Bigums has said, right? And so on over here. So this is the zone, and it would be considered a technical breakout, right? And technical breakouts are violent. So in my opinion, this is going to be the next leg up. All right, this is going to be the title of my video, right? So AMC's next leg up. This is what it is, guys. It's here, right? This would be the next leg up, and it's playing out how it has before, right? So you're talking about it comes down, right? It bounces off, and then when it finally starts to make its way back up is when we get that fourth test and we get the breakout. It's happened over and over, right? You can come back here in the chart and you can see, right, the same pattern. It goes down. Once you get that lift, this is kind of where we're at right now, right? You're gonna get a pop, it's gonna come down, and then you get the rip. All right, so same thing here, right? This is how it usually plays out. Same thing, you come up, you're gonna test that, you're gonna break out, you're gonna come back and test it, and then you have the rip. All right, so that's what I would expect. It's not guaranteed, it's not, you know, exact, it's not gonna go bar for bar, but that's why I have this zone drawn out, and that's why I have these lines too as well, right? Because what I want to see is come break here, we're gonna pop up, struggle a little bit, and then we're gonna have a rip. All right, and how high it goes, we don't know. Nobody knows that answer, guys. Right, so that's what I want to show you there. We got some unusual option stuff, so I'm glad the apes are learning. I don't think they're buying YOLO calls right now, which is good because we're not just handing money over to the market makers. Some of the volume could be fake for the calls, right? When you look on Stockholm Tracker, but when you look on here, this is going to be the all-time, right? So right before May and June over here, right? June, when we had the big rip, you don't see too much volume, right? Only this bar, so that one, and then come closer to June right here, right? So there wasn't a lot of options volume. So it was weird how in this time frame recently, right, there was more money than ever in calls, right? But a lot of it I think could be just fake. I think it could just be hedges, right? Just market makers just planning, like, you know, bait up there, like, oh, maybe if they see a lot of volume they'll take the calls. But I think the apes are learning because you don't see a ton of volume. Right here was actually like one of the lowest volumes ever, right? It says -7 something, right? 7,145. But what you got to pay attention to is like the actual volume. So let's go to the month just to zoom in. You see how low it is right here recently? How low it is? That's good, guys. Like, don't lose your money on calls, right? Especially if you don't know what you're doing. You know, it's good to just right now, like they say, buy and hold the shares, right? That's what we want to buy, is the shares. Even though at this point they're probably synthetic, but they're still responsible for it, right? And then the past week. So that was awesome to see yesterday, just how low this options, you know, money was, because that's what I feel like has been giving them, that's what I think has been giving them money, right? To keep battling us with. But we did get more calls this week, 11,400 versus puts 9,740. Last night for a while there was 0 shares, right? That was kind of funny. And then this is a glitch, I think, because it says 0. But you have 900,000 shares supposedly, right? Which they're probably holding for the earnings call, right? They're probably gonna hit us with those when we get good news. So it was interesting today to see the SPY kind of move up too. I got it wrong, you know. I thought it was gonna get rejected here, but it actually moved up a little bit more, right? But it's not guaranteed, guys, that this is just gonna start, you know, ripping up. You know, there's a lot going on in the economy right now, and any bad news could just start, you know, bringing this right back down easily. But yeah, it's crossing the EMAs, so that is bullish. If it crosses this one, then we will see some kind of breakout, right? Probably up to here, around this area, right? Because there's still a lot of resistance points where it was catching and then it lost support and it's bouncing back a little bit now, right? But yeah, that's just some expectations I got going. For GME, right, we're on the daily chart. Not enough volume has came in, and what I think is weird is that the volume has stayed pretty low. Even though there's more shares now, because as you see, like AMC has usually higher volume than GME because of there's more shares, right, to be traded. But ever since the split, there's been some funky things going on. How they changed, you know, the short interest from 20% to 5%. You know, the options chain, I didn't see if it got adjusted, but there's just been some really weird things going on, right, with after the split. So we got to wait and see. I'm patient. I'm still holding my GME shares too because you know, I believe they have to cover at some point, right? Because that's what happened with Tesla, right? It wasn't on the day of the share split, the dividend. It was a few weeks later, okay, when it actually started moving up. So that's what I'm expecting for GME. It's not instant, but you see that all we need to cross right now is this resistance, right? This 40. If we're able to break that, you're gonna start to see some action, I think, right? Some good price action. And maybe this coming week, right, GME will ride with AMC when AMC starts moving up because of the earnings, all right? In my opinion, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but all right. So they only have 4,000 shares supposedly of GME, still holding that 32%. That's another weird thing. A couple of days they were showing 126%, another few days 33%, 126. It kept jumping in between that, right? So that's not usual either. That's unusual, right? And another source, they have even less, right? So we hear 4,000. It says 4,000. Let's see. Let me refresh it. See if 4,000 shows up. Yeah, so 4,000 as well. 32% cost to borrow, and it's been holding that, right? Even though you see these spikes, that's crazy expensive, though, guys. And remember, if you had one share that was shorted, now you have four. So think about that too, with the what goes into the cost to borrow fee. Yeah, guys, so just kick back on the weekend. We have a big week coming up ahead. I think it's an important one. It's good to stay cool though. Don't get too hyped. There might be a lot of hype, and I think there's gonna be a lot of bots and trolls and shills this weekend that are just gonna attack AMC and what's coming up in the earnings. But we're used to it. The apes are diamond handing this thing. They're the real ones, right? The ones that are ready for this to happen. And it looks like we have some indicators that are showing us that something is about to happen, right? And we got a few things to look forward to. Just stay focused, guys. We're almost there, in my opinion, and we got this. All right, guys. So enjoy your weekend. Catch you in the next one.